Hello and welcome to today's practice. We'll be working on back health and core strength, two things that are really importantly linked. It's very difficult to do any of our really deep back bends without the strength in both our back and our core to support ourselves. And core strength is really key to being able to explore and deepen your practice. So, breathe in and reach your arms above your head. Calibrating with the breath, lengthen up tall, and exhale, bring your arms down by your side. Inhale to breathe in and reach the arms up, lifting through your chest, gently lifting your head, stretching through the fingers. And exhale, release, bring your arms down by your side. Breathe in to raise your arms above your head again, lengthening tall through the fingers. And this time we're going to take the left arm back behind us and reach the right arm forward. So hips are facing forward, but we're turning open in the torso, extending through the fingers. Trying to keep the hands basically on the level with the shoulders. Inhale to reach your arms back into the air. And we'll switch sides. Left arm coming forward and right arm extending back. Again, we're grounded and solid through the feet. Hips are facing forward. And we also want to check in with the shoulders. Make sure the shoulders are down so we have a nice long neck. Breathe here, extending energetically through the fingers. Inhale to reach both arms back into the air now. Breathe in. And exhale, fold forward. Stopping halfway for a moment. Find the length in your spine. Then bring your hand to the floor. Roll back up to standing slowly, letting your head come up last. Reach your arms into the air. Exhale, fold forward, lengthening through the spine, finding that openness. Then let your hands come down to the ground and roll it up. Slowly activating the spine. Breathe in to reach the arms into the air. Exhale, fold forward. Hold for a moment here. Try and keep your head between your arms, ears on the same level as your shoulders, palms facing each other. Lengthening as much as you can through the legs and through the spine and through the hands. Breathe and exhale. Bring your hand to the floor or behind your calves. Inhale to lift the head and the chest. Again, finding that length and openness. Exhale to fold into yourself, head into your knees. Inhale, lift, lengthening through the arms. Exhale, fold into yourself, head into your knees. Inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. Bring your hands now to the floor and step back to a high plank position. We'll come through 8 points pose, but you can do any transition you like. Knees, chest, and chin to the floor, looking forward. Hold for a moment. If you like, you can always flatten yourself completely and then scoot your hips in. From here, we transition to Bhujangasana, Cobra, rolling the chest open, allowing the legs to be relaxed on the floor. Pressing the backs of the feet, backs of the toes into the ground, shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, gently lower down. Since we're working with the spine, let's do that again, adding a slight variation. Breathe in and look over your left shoulder. Breathe here. Exhale, bring the chest down. Inhale, same thing again, looking over the right shoulder now, shoulders back, neck is long, pressing into the hands for support. And on your exhale, lower it back down to the ground. Let's press it back to child's pose. Bum going back towards your feet, lengthening through the spine. I really like to do child's pose now, on my fingertips. So I'm getting a little bit extra length and openness on the shoulders and the chest. Bring your hands flat to the floor, make your way to tabletop position. Then turn your toes over and make your way to downward facing dog, pressing the heels into the floor. Let's warm the whole body, keep it moving. So breathe out here, and we'll come back to a high plank position. Breathe in, hold, working the core, bring the forearms to the ground. Spend a moment, and then we're coming back onto the palms. Bring the forearms to the ground. Try and keep yourself nice and strong. Move from that internal strength as you bring your palms back to the floor. One more time. Bring the forearms to the ground, elbows underneath your shoulders. Hold, hold, hold. And lower the knees, flatten the legs. The elbows are drawing back towards your body, and you're rolling your chest open and your shoulders back. So it doesn't look like much is happening, but there is an activation to open the chest. Turn the toes over, lift your hips again, hold, bring your hands together, and we're going to take the hips gently from side to side, rolling so the chest and torso remains largely the same. And we're just moving in the hips. It's kind of a nice twist here too, but we're really focusing on using that core strength to move the lower body. Side to side. Come back to the center, come back onto your palms, and gently moving through the hips, make it back to downward facing dog. We're going to be doing a lot of intense core work today, so if at any point you need to pause the video, take a break, totally feel free to do so. If we're doing downward facing dogs, you're always welcome to do a child's pose instead, or a dolphin, where you bring your forearms to the ground. Come forward to high plank and downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold. Inhale, high plank. And bring your forearms to the ground. We're going to go to a supported plank, side plank position now. So take your right hand over to your left hand and then reach that left arm into the air. So we've got our legs stacked here as much as possible and toes flexed towards you. You are welcome to hang out here, or if you can, hang on to the big toe of your left leg, hooking around the big toe. The focus here is to keep the hips as high as possible. Release if you took the bind, and come back to low plank. We'll move straight to the other side. So left arm goes towards the right side, returning and reaching that right arm into the air, lengthening through the fingers, feet stacked, toes flexed. Lift your hips. Breathe. Again, you're welcome to hold here, or if you'd like to take a more challenging variation, hook onto your right big toe with your fingers and your thumb and extend, keeping the hips lifted and the pelvis pressed forward. Breathe and gently release. Come back to your forearms. Low plank, lower the hips, relax the feet, draw the shoulders back and breathe. So here, just taking a gentle curve in the spine, opening up the chest and stretching out the belly as well. Turn the toes over, lift your knees, forearms, come onto your palms, high plank, and roll it back to downward facing dog. Again, if you need a break, child's pose always, or bringing the forearms to the ground. Otherwise, we're distributing the weight across the fingers and the palms and pressing the heels to the floor. Gently lower your knees towards the floor, tabletop position. Extend the left leg back and lift it above the ground so it's in line with your spine. Extend through the right arm. Try as much as possible to have one long straight line between your left toes, your leg, your spine, and your hands. Stay engaged in your core. Try not to dump into that left arm. I'm going to bring the left leg now out to the side and the right arm to the side. This is intense, so if you find it difficult, it's totally normal. Hold here. Try and keep everything level. Knee to elbow if you want something challenging. Side to side. Left knee to right elbow, crossing underneath you. You absolutely don't have to do this. This is for those who are kind of type A like me. Hold and return and exhale, knee and hand to the floor. Let's do the other side. Extend your right leg back, lift away from the ground. Left arm extends long. So first holding here, finding our stability, our balance, and our strength. Energetically extending through fingers and toes, lengthening the spine. Breathe, prepare. I'm going to take that right leg out to the side and the left arm to the side. Hold. Feel free to hold here. Or knee to elbow, crossing underneath you. Breathing as much as you can with the movement. Let's do 2 more. 1, 2, hold. Return back, front and back, and knees and hands to the floor. Probably, definitely, you want to come to child's pose now. Relax. If your wrists are hurting, maybe consider turning your palms to the sky. Most of us have pretty weak wrists, and so any time spent on our palms is quite difficult. Without causing any injury or danger to yourself, it is important to strengthen your wrists through the practice. Oftentimes, we want to kind of pull back immediately when there's any discomfort, but without a little bit of discomfort, it can be hard to strengthen. Tabletop position now. Extend your left leg back, this time keeping the toes on the floor. Going to pivot on the right knee so you're facing to the side. So, left arm is reaching to the sky, left toes on the floor. Opening up, lift your hips high. Lower your left arm overhead, palm facing the floor, so you're making a long diagonal line from the outside of your left foot through your left arm and fingers. Breathe here. Keep turning open towards the ceiling. Hold. Lift that left leg away from the floor now, so it's in line with the hip. Exhale, knee to elbow. Here's another one you don't have to do, but if you like, crunch it in. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend through fingers and toes. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, inhale, and hold. Bring that left foot back to the floor. Reach the left arm to the sky again. If you need, you can rest your head and neck. Sometimes I find my neck gets a bit stiff from looking up the whole time, so totally feel free to look towards the ground. Taking it a step further, we're going to extend that bottom leg, the right leg, straight out ahead of us, so our legs are scissored. Can keep that leg on the floor, toes on the floor, or maybe lift it away from the ground and hold. It's very intense. Hold, breathe. 3, 4, 5. Gently bring that knee back underneath you. Make your way back to tabletop position and slowly take it back to child's pose, taking a quick, very meaningful breath. I've just turned on the mat so that you can see me easily on the other side, but you can stay facing the same direction. Palms into the floor, tabletop position. Extend your right leg back behind you now, keeping the toes on the floor. Pivot on the left knee to reach your right arm to the sky. Lengthen through the body. So at first, that right arm is going directly up, long, long, long. And then we lower it overhead to make a diagonal line through the right side of the body, palm facing to the floor. Hold. Breathe into that openness in your torso, your chest, all through the side of your body. Try and lift the left lung up so you've got as much openness in your chest as you can. And then start to lift that right foot away from the floor so it's in line with your hip. Hold here, or if you like, crunches, knee to elbow, and extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, inhale, hold. Bring the foot down. Reach the arm back into the air. Remember, you are welcome to relax your neck if you need to, looking down towards the floor, but keep the chest and the arm open. Good. We'll be moving to our next variation. Hang out here if you prefer. Left leg is extended underneath the body towards the camera. And we're lifting it away from the floor. Hold. Press into that right foot on the floor. Imagine somebody pulling you up by the right arm. Extend through the toes and then bring the knee back underneath you and come back to tabletop position. Drop your head between your arms, arch your spine for a nice cat position. Hold, gently pressing against the ground. Inhale now for cow. Exhale, slowly moving through to cat. Inhale to cow. And exhale to cat. Inhale to a neutral position. Take your knees wide and settle back down to a child's pose, extending through the arms. Hands can be flat on the floor. Palms can be turned to the ceiling, or you can be on your fingertips for a little extra space in the chest and arms. Gently curving in the body, take your arms over to your right side, chest over your right knee. Breathe here. Breathe, stretching, relaxing, releasing. Come back to the center, then over to the left side. Hold. Just calming everything down. Hear yourself breathing in and out through the nose. And come back to the center. Tabletop position. Good. Drop the belly. And we're circling now in the spine. So we're coming through our cat and cow, but we're adding side positions. So drop your belly in your cow. Press your belly over to the side. Lift your cat. And then over to the side. So gently circling, activating the spine and back muscles, also the core. Breathing in and out. Circling, exaggerating the movement to get as much engagement as possible. Make sure to do in both directions. Really finding that slow, sensual movement in the body. And come back to your tabletop position. Extend your legs back for high plank and slowly lower all the way to the floor. Flatten your feet, let your arms come beside you, palms to the sky. Going to do a series of back strengtheners here. To begin with, I want you to just lift your head and your chest. Your hands are touching the floor, and we're just focusing on lifting the shoulders and the chest. Hold, pressing the hips and pelvis into the floor. Lift your chest, legs are heavy into the ground. Hold, 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 hold. Breathe. And on your next exhale, gently bring it down. Bring your palms now beside your chest, to either side of your chest, elbows going up. We're going to work just the front half of the body again. Legs relaxed, inhale, roll the shoulders and chest open, lift your head. The hands are on the floor, but they're not actively pressing into the ground. They're just there making contact. The activation is in the chest. Imagine wanting to shoot energy through your chest. Keep focusing on your breath. Breathe in. And on your exhale, release, let your chest come down to the ground. Take a moment and then press back to child's pose for release. Come back up to your tabletop position and lower back flat to the floor. We're going to do legs and arms now. Extend your arms beside you, palms to the sky. On your inhale, lift your head and chest and lift your legs. Hands, again, are still in touch with the ground, but not pressing, just resting. And we're trying to find as much length and lift through the body as you can. Gently curving through the whole of your body. Breathe in. And exhale, gently release. Bring your hands to either side of your chest, legs and arms, or legs and chest rather. Inhale, lift your head and chest, lift your legs. Hands are on the floor lightly, energy shooting through the front of the chest and through the toes. Finding that nice long curve in the body. Breathe in. And breathe out to release. Gently press it back to child's pose. Breathe, lengthening the spine, opening the chest. Come back to tabletop position. Lower all the way down. Good. Now that we've done this back warm-ups, I'd like us to do Dhanurasana, bow pose. Take hold of your right foot with your right hand and your left foot with your left hand. We're going to start by keeping the legs pressed into the floor. So we're not lifting the knees away from the ground. Inhale, press your feet actively into your hands And that will help lift your chest away from the ground. This is such a good one for opening up the front of the chest. Good. Breathe in. Keep your neck nice and long, but as relaxed as you can. Lift, lift, lift. And exhale, gently release. Flattening your legs to the floor. Hold here in a nice neutral position for the spine. On this next one, we're going to try for our full Dhanurasana. Gently lifting up, bend your knees, take hold of your feet or your ankles. Take a deep breath in and rise, pressing the pelvis into the floor. Again, your feet, your legs are helping you. They're really strong. The feet pressing into the hands helps roll the chest open. We're looking forward, trying to get as much height as we can. And on your exhale, gently release. Let your chest and legs come to the floor. Rest. Hear your breath in the silence. Gently bring your hands beside your chest and then your forearms onto the ground, lifting your chest and head, shoulders back. Breathe here. Bring your right knee up to the side to face you. It's kind of one of my favorite positions because it's like so weirdly sexy, but really effective. So your right knee is up by your right hip and we're holding here. A little bit of a hip stretch for you. Now the cool thing is that this hip stretch now becomes a twist on your back. So take the right shoulder to the floor and just gently make a half turn so your spine is on the ground. That right knee is still bent to the side. Left arm on your right leg. Extend through your right arm. Try and keep the right palm onto the floor and the right shoulder into the floor. Just hang out here. Turn back onto your front. And then we're going to bring the left leg up, keeping the stomach on the floor as much as possible. Hold. And now transitioning to our twist. Right shoulder comes to the floor and the left arm comes to the floor. Hold here in our supine twist. Hold and breathe nice and deeply. Gently unwind, turn back onto your front. And turning the toes over, press all the way back up to a push-up position, high plank. Hold here for a moment, just get a little bit more core work in. Hold, shoulders of the wrists, heels over the toes, and micro bends here. So if you're feeling still active, you can bend all the way to the floor. Otherwise, maybe just 1 inch and then back to downward facing dog. Hold. Just loosening and strengthening and lengthening the body. Make your way now to a seated position. Hips on the ground. Extend the legs out in front of you. Hands on the thighs. Breathe in. Exhale, bring your belly towards your legs, hands on thighs or calves or ankles. If you have a belt or a strap that you use in your practice, you can put that around your feet. Otherwise, maybe holding onto your feet. The work is happening internally. The arms are just anchoring. We're finding a nice length in the back of the spine. Inhale to lift your head and chest. Exhale to sit back. Bend your knees, bring both feet to the floor, hip distance apart. Extend your arms out in front of you and slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, slowly, this is really slow even for me, gently roll onto your spine, flattening your back on the ground. Take a moment to rest. Gently lift one leg and then the other leg straight to the sky. So we're making an L shape with the body. Very lovely to stay here. Just finding that relaxing inversion. Hold. Pressing through the soles of your feet. Trying to keep as long as possible. Head and spine are relaxed. Feel free to stay here. Or if you prefer, you can lift up to our shoulder stand, keeping the weight at the top of the back, on the shoulders and the arms, grounding through the elbows and taking your toes directly to the sky. You can hold here, or you can take a variation, bringing your arms to the ground, extended, fingers clasped, and then taking the toes straight to the sky. Just be careful about the distribution of weight. Your head and neck should not feel that they have too much pressure on them. From shoulder stand, if you like, make your way to Halasana, plow pose, with the legs extended overhead and the backs of the feet on the floor. If this is not for you, you can hang out in that original L pose. If you have a wall nearby, you can put your legs against the wall so it's even more relaxing. Otherwise, we're holding our Halasana. And finally, gently unfolding the spine back onto the floor. So we're meeting back, legs in the air, back on the floor. And let's go to happy baby pose, taking the knees wide of the chest. You can hold on to the legs, the feet, the ankles, wherever you want to hold on to. Keeping the back flat on the ground. If you like, you can roll a little bit in it. Maybe press one side down, press the other side down, wherever you need to be. If you like, you can also extend through your legs a little bit. Feel free to move and play around so you're opening up your hips and pelvis as you need and want. Relax and hold. And gently release. Feel free to circle your knees. Open up your hips in whatever way you need to. Make sure to do both directions if you are. And as you're ready, extend your legs onto the floor. Rest your arms by your side and enjoy a final Shavasana. Softening the breath, softening your body into the ground. Thank you for this practice. Enjoy Shavasana for as long as you need.